Hello everybody and welcome to this lesson on creating a dance. So we're going to get started with a starter task. So I would like you to pause the video now and writing down the answers to these questions, please. Okay, so I'm going to go through the answers now. So number one, the 6 dance actions is jump, turn, balance, stillness, travel and gesture. Naming 3 dynamics. Remember, a dynamic is anything that describes how you perform a movement. So I've chosen here quick, explosive and smooth, but there are many others. So as long as it describes how you perform the movement, it's a dynamic. Number 3, so defining pathways is the design traced in space. So it's going to be a certain design or pattern, and it can be obviously on the floor, like a walking pathway, or in the air, a moving pathway. Defining levels is distance from the ground, low, medium and high. Defining mirroring, so that is the aim where to be seamless in copying each other, but you're meant to be in perfect symmetry, and that's the key word there, that you want to be in symmetry and you want to be in time with each other, copying each other. Defining formations is the shape or patterns created in space by the dancers. So tackling the extra challenge now, so naming a formation. So you would name any kind of shape, so that might be a diamond formation, it might be a semicircle formation, might be a linear formation, might be a triangle formation. Naming a pathway, so you could have a zigzag pathway, a linear pathway, a curved pathway. And what is a stimulus? So a stimulus is the starting point for the dance, so the inspiration for the dance, and this is going to link on really well with what we are doing today. So let's get started on the lesson. So we are creating a dance today, and we are not moving, we're not creating it practically, we are creating a hypothetical dance, which means a made up dance. We're going to make it up on the spot today in a written form. So first of all, we need to have a stimulus. So remembering that a stimulus is the inspiration for an idea or movement. So I've given you 3 pictures here, 3 very different pictures. I'd like you to pick the one that you'd like to create your dance on. Okay, so once you've picked the picture you want to base your dance on, I'd like you to now mind map around that picture, and you want to start to put down your initial thoughts. So that might be the overall story, that might be the mood, that might be the meaning of the work. But the main thing that you need to spend your time on is creating a choreographic intention. Okay, so the picture is just your initial starting point, but you need to create a choreographic intention. Now, a choreographic intention is the aim of the dance. So it's what the choreographer, which is you, would like to communicate. So if we take the first picture, for example, so it's the girl letting go of the balloon, which is actually a famous Banksy piece of art. That is my stimulus, but my choreographic intention might be letting go of something you loved. That is a choreographic intention, and we can clearly see that that's based on that picture because the love heart balloon is kind of going away from her. So that is my stimulus, but the letting go of something that you loved is the choreographic intention. That's my aim that I want to show the audience. So take 10 minutes now, 5 or 10 minutes, to mind map around your chosen stimulus. Okay, so you should have mind mapped around your stimulus, have a really clear choreographic intention. Now we need to start creating the dance, and we're going to create all elements of this dance. So we're going to create the oral setting, the costume, the lighting, the set, and the dancers. So starting with oral setting is the music that's going to accompany this piece. So you'll want to describe the instruments, the tempo, which means the speed of the music, and the pitch, which means how high or low the sounds are. So switching on kind of your music brain, and you will be describing a made up piece of oral setting to go with your dance. And make sure this is not just a random piece of music. Remember, this links to your dance, your choreographic intention. It must make sense. Next, you'll be describing your costume. So you want to talk about the clothing type. For example, not just saying trousers, kind of, are they long trousers? Are they tight fitting? Are they shorts? Making sure you're really specific. And you also want to describe the colour, and you might want to describe the material. Lighting, again, being specific. The lighting type, is it a spotlight? Is it the lighting fading? Is it an overall wash over the whole stage? And then you want to talk about what kind of colour it is. Is it an intense light or is it a dim light? You'll want to describe the setting briefly. So where are the dancers dancing? Are they on a stage? What colour is the stage? You might also want props in your dance. That's fine. Make sure you describe it in the setting part. And then you'll want to tell me how many dancers you're having, and it might be relevant to tell me if there's a certain amount of female, certain amount of male. So 10 minutes now to complete that table. And your extra challenge is to actually draw the costume, set and props. So if in 10 minutes you've already described all of these moments, just have a go at actually drawing the costume and drawing the set and props. 10 minutes, so pause the video now. Okay, so you've completed the whole of the first side of the table. This is the second side of the table, so we actually need to create some movement now to go into your dance. Now, we're going to create two different motifs. Remember that a motif is a short phrase of movement. So it's roughly going to be about 3 or 4 movements long. And there are categories, of course, so describing the action, the dynamics, the space, and the relationships. So for actions, you'll want to actually say what the dancer is doing. So are they performing an arm circle gesture, or are they performing a turning jump? Being very specific. Dynamics, remember, that's how they perform it. Is it a fast movement? Is it a slow? Is it explosive? Is it smooth? In terms of space, so telling me what direction they're facing. Are they facing the front or are they facing the back? Are they facing the diagonal? What level are they on? Are they on a high level? Are they on a medium level? Or are they on the floor on a low level? What pathway they're taking if they're traveling, if it's a small movement or if it's a huge movement, etc., etc. Relationships. So I've put a couple that hopefully we're familiar with. So I've used mirroring, contact, formation, and action reaction. Now, if you know any other dance relationships, feel free to use it there. So contact, obviously, you might have a lift or something, the dancer's touching in that moment. Mirroring, we know, is when you're in perfect symmetry, so they could be facing each other in perfect symmetry, for example. A formation, so you're definitely going to want to tell me in both motifs what formation your dancers are standing in. And you can simply say dancers are standing in a triangle formation. And action reaction, remember that's where one dancer does an action and the other dancer reacts to that action. So you're going to want to add some relationships at the end. And your extra challenge, as you can see, is to add counts to each action. Okay, and remember by counts we mean, so for example, if it was the turning jump, that would take count 1 and count 2. So if that's the very beginning of my motif, it would be 1, 2, and that would be my turning jump because it takes 2 counts to complete it. Hopefully that makes sense. You're going to spend a further 10-15 minutes completing this side. And like I said, if you finish, you just moved on to the extra challenge. Okay, and finally we have a plenary for you. So pause the video now and you can discuss this in pairs, or if you're at home on your own, you can be writing some of the answers down for this plenary. So pause the video here and answer these questions.